Public safety announcement. Oh boy. So, this is very interesting because according to Alabama fans' logic, the whole nation should be afraid of them because they have one loss. They have a loss to the best team that they've played so far on their schedule at home, getting pushed around, and that they haven't been even been in the top 10 for like over a month now. Finally today, for the first time, they've been in the top 10 since they were ranked like number 3 before Texas took their virginity away. So and apparently we should all be afraid because you lost to the best team on your schedule. That means that yeah, you're great and you're the best team on planet Earth, and when you're not undefeated and not number 1 in the country and not even in the top 4 for the playoffs. That I did not make this up. Just letting you know that I did not want to put it like this, but apparently this is what I've taken away from the logic of these retards that you call Alabama fans. And it's just hilarious to see. It is absolutely hilarious. And let me tell you about how they switch up so fast on their coaching staff, on their players, on their team. They're wishing unemployment on their coaching staff, who most of them probably have families and kids. And you want them unemployed, and you wish unemployment on them. What if that was you and your family with little kids? Yeah, think about that. Oh, man. Who knew this moment would be here so fast? The moment of desperation for Gumpville is truly showing right now. I remember clearly after most of us, including myself, predicted they would lose at home to their daddy, Texas. Which is true, by the way, because Texas actually owns them all time. Since they want to bring up, meaningless national titles from the 70s, or whenever they won them. Why would we look at overall what Texas has done to you? And I, as an LSU fan, I live in Texas. I live in Dallas, so I've been living in Dallas my whole life. I've been surrounded by Longhorn fans. And I can't stand them motherfuckers. But I'd rather have them win than y'all. It shows how bad, how putrid of human beings a lot of you Alabama fans are around the world, especially most of y'all that live in that shithole of a state. But that's not the point of this video. I'm just here to point and laugh and clown y'all as a whole collective fan base on what you say week in and week out and how you respond to it after things don't go your way. How about we take a look? Texas pushed you around on your home field. I knew it right then. Y'all are finished. This is the best team on your schedule when you can't beat them. That tells me you once again, you just cannot win big games anymore. And I was right. I've been thinking that this whole offseason. And once again, the Savage Tiger here is correct. Y'all can cry about it if you want to. All I can do is tell you the facts and the truth. But right then I noticed y'all wasn't going anywhere. And then y'all want to come out and start this conspiracy theory, which is absolutely laughable. That y'all could actually put together that sentence and actually make us try and believe it. After struggling, driving a severe struggle bus to one of the worst FBS programs right now, South Florida. And literally, y'all were saying, even after the Texas loss, and especially, y'all won the South Florida game by 14 points. 17-3. That's absolutely putrid. And if anybody watched like the whole game start to finish, they would know what I'm talking about. Y'all said Nick Saban, who was once LSU's coach. That's why I like him a lot, and I'm a huge fan of him. So don't get it twisted. Y'all was saying that he needs to retire. That he needs to be fired. After all he did for after he got you everything that your program has. Without him, you know damn well you would have absolutely nothing to show in your sorry program outside of a 16, 17-year period. From 2008 until right now, until whenever he is not coach at Alabama anymore. And my father has he has been a football fan forever, since like the 90s. He's seen great coaches and some of their dynasties, how they end. He's seen the decline and the retirement of some of the most legendary coaches like Bobby Bowden and Joe Paterno back in the day. He made a prediction that Saban won't be back next year. That he'll announce his retirement after 2023. I tend to agree. And while I might be wrong, we all might be wrong, and he might coach maybe another 3 or 4 years, maybe. Trust me when I say this, whether you like Alabama or not, whether you like Saban or not, I'm just being real. If it's not the end right now, this year, the end is super near for him. And there is no way you can convince me otherwise. There's nothing you can say. I've seen it. I've seen it since the start of 2021, when Alabama teams just have not looked dominant against some teams that they that they normally would have been dominating, and they have lost touch in some big games. The last big win was an SEC championship against Georgia. When Georgia just that's the last time they have lost, by the way. Just so we're clear. And that was just the day that they came out flat. The reason, I don't know why. But it's done. And Georgia ended up recovering and winning a national title anyways. But because Georgia now with back-to-back national championships is the new standard in college football, Alabama, you're not gonna magically, I don't know what. It's one thing to hope for the best for your team, and we all do that as fans. But at the same time, when reality calls, you just magically think that what you had, the culture you had before, and the formula for your championships, is just gonna come back magically. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I've said this and I'm still correct. The NIL and transfer portal era has killed Nick Saban and the Alabama Foundation. While you might be saying, oh, Nick Saban's like starting to look fiery on the sidelines again. That may be a little bit true, but you know what? You know what he's doing. Any of us that watch the sport without bias know that he's just coaching for the sake of it. Whether this is his last year or he's in his final 3 or 4 years, either way, he is just coaching for the hell of it at this point. He has done everything he needs to do. He knows damn well he's having trouble and falling a little behind in the modern era of college football right now. This NIL, because if you look at the pattern, just like I said, you remember 2021, I mentioned that. Before the 2021 season started, like around July, I heard Alabama's quarterback, Bryce Young, without taking a meaningful snap in college football, earned himself like $1 million or something, signs a deal with an NIL deal when NIL finally became legal, right a few months before the season started in 2021. And if that's a pattern that you're ignoring, you must be just kidding yourself. Yeah. Well, I don't know what else to tell y'all. And I don't know what you want to hear, but I'm telling you what you need to hear. You can choose to believe it. You can choose to not believe it. That is up to you. But don't come crying back to me when I have warned you right now about what your future looks like. Don't come crying to me after that. And don't you, Alabama fans, don't you ever, I don't care what Nick Saban does right now, don't you ever wish him to be fired. The coach that's done everything that your program has, it's all because of him. One of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coach in the game of football. Yeah, I partly say that because he coached at LSU. But at least LSU, we can win championships with other coaches not named Nick Saban. Alabama, can you say the same? I'll wait. I'll wait all day for your answer. I mean, hell. But I see what you want now. I see what some of y'all are looking for right now. Y'all are looking for a little pat on the back by me because you finally beat a ranked team. The other ranked team you played was the best team on your schedule, which you lost to the Texas Longhorns. And you know what? This is the nicest thing I might say to you guys. To you putrid, sorry excuse of human being, Alabama fans. I'm gonna, with the exception of very few out there in the world, y'all know who you are. I'm gonna say this to you. This might be the nicest thing I say. Congratulations, Alabama. You deserve a nice, pat on the back for beating a ranked team on your schedule at home and for beating a team that lost to one of the worst programs in the SEC and maybe in the Power 5 right now, the Florida Gators. Just imagine what you're celebrating right now. Aside from Tennessee being your rival, I get that. But outside of that, there is nothing much to celebrate out here for that win. There's nothing to celebrate. And the fact that you poked your chest out week 1 after beating Middle Tennessee State 56-7, and then coming the next week at home and getting pushed the fuck around all over the fucking field to another Saban assistant and a program that owns you all time, and you cannot beat them unless their quarterbacks are hurt. And and once again, it's proven. To this year just proved it. You know, we all know what we're talking about. The national championship in 2009, Colt McCoy gets hurt, and that's why Alabama wins. Normally, we don't make excuses for injuries, but now, I mean, there's still no excuses for injuries, but it proves the point we were all making. And it's a funny point. That is true. Apparently, Alabama can only beat Texas when Texas Texas starting quarterback is not playing. And that apparently is a fact now. But you decided that you have to celebrate beating Middle Tennessee State, a team that is, in terms of talent and facilities and the school size and their football program, severely inferior to you. And you beat your chest out by beating them, and then you get pushed around when you play a real team. Embarrassing. That is just absolutely pathetic. Oh, man. This is just hilarious. When you get your doo-doo pushed in by another real team, don't say I didn't warn you. I don't want to hear the excuses. I just don't want to hear it. Because I warned you right now. Oh, let's not forget. You wanted Coach Deion Sanders to come coach y'all after y'all lost to Texas. Just think about for a second what you're saying. You want a guy that just lost to Stanford. He has a few 5-stars on his team. And his son, Shedeur Sanders, one of the best quarterbacks in all the country. And you blow a 29-0 lead to one of the worst teams in the country, Stanford. Is that really what you want as your head coach? Some guy who's not experienced enough in the Power 5? Is that really what you want? Besides Nick Saban? You need to think about what you say sometimes, because it is pure retardation and stupidity what comes out of your mouth. While I am saying Nick Saban is right now at the end of his tenure, for you to wish for anybody else but him, for a guy who's basically a rookie in the Power 5 as a head coach in Deion Sanders, that has to be one of the most idiotic comments I ever saw. Alabama. What did I say in 2022 offseason about the LSU-Alabama matchup in Death Valley in Brian Kelly's first year? Yeah, that we would win. And guess what? I was right. I will see you in 2 weeks after the best offense in America at LSU and wide receiver you come in and push your shit in so hard that you just won't know what to say afterwards. Or once again, you might just make them an excuse saying, "Oh, Jalen Milroe, the quarterback's leg was hurt or something like that, like it did last time." Or how apparently your best friend since 2009, the refs from Birmingham, the SEC Birmingham officiating office, helped us instead of you. Which that's probably maybe true in another universe, but not this one. I'm just here just having fun and just enjoying your turmoil and your stupidity because y'all are desperate because you know you ain't doing a damn thing in terms of big championships this year or in the future. The peak has gone. Oh, and there is no dynasty for a team that has won one national title in the last 5 years, soon to be one of the last 6. Just let that be known. And think about when you say the word dynasty again. Because in that case, LSU would be a dynasty. We won a national title in the last 5 years. Clemson has won it in the last 5 years. Georgia has won 2. In that case, they're a dynasty. They're the closest thing to a dynasty right now. And if it makes you mad, once again, I can't help you there. That's all I got. Two weeks. It's going to be the Tuscaloosa invasion of 2023, and I can't wait. Go Tigers.